Hey guys, Jasmine Hollinger here, founder of Mother's Yoke, and today we will be talking about how to get started with exercise. And again, we have personal trainer extraordinaire Michael Harris, and so we'll just go ahead and jump into it. So, once I decided I want to start working out, how in the world do I decide, should I work out at home? Should I work out at a gym? Or should I get a personal trainer? So how do I make that choice?
All right, starting out at home, for example, a lot of times people might be intimidated by the gym, going out to the gym, and for some moms, they don't have childcare, and so starting out with a home-based program, whether it's on YouTube, a Beachbody product, or something along those lines, so you can start it with your house. That's going to be a lot less expensive, a lot cheaper on the pocketbook. You'll actually have more control of your time, and you're not worried about someone actually intimidating you, or you're worried about how you're going to end up progressing in the workouts, or you're doing it right. So if you look at going to a gym, most of the time people that go to the gym, they already have a workout routine. They're used to working out. They're familiar with some of the equipment, and it's not going to be as expensive, of course, as a personal trainer. If you're looking at someone being a personal trainer, let's say, for example, that range will be from $40 to maybe $100 an hour. You're looking at one-on-one attention. You're looking at someone actually making sure your form is right. They're connected with you. You have a lot more, but you're going to actually pay a lot more for personal training. With the gym, you have a wide variety of different options. Some people have tanning beds. You have massages. You have all kind of equipment. Free weights. You'll have some other people there that should be knowledgeable, that they've actually worked out pretty, for a while. And so you can have some form of a group dynamic even. For the loners, some people want to start by themselves. So they'll probably start at the house, and it's nothing wrong with even going from a house, doing some things at your house, going on to a gym, and then in some cases to make those extra pushes, maybe getting a personal trainer. Some people go from the house to a personal trainer. So it's no wrong way of doing it. Everyone's going to be an individual. It's just going to depend on the person.
Yeah. So basically, depends on your personality, kind of what you like. I do a little bit of all three. Michael's my personal trainer. He ain't cheap, y'all. He's not.
That's a lot of money for personal training and education. If you were a doctor, I don't know a doctor off the top of my head, but if you were a doctor at a reputable place, the education is expensive. The same thing, I use the ISSA. You have NASM, ISSA, you have ACE, and those guys they're not cheap, and they don't give you the things. I mean, it'd be interesting, maybe if you're a doctor and you paid your tuition, you didn't have to pass the test, and they would just make you a doctor. But in this case, they fail you. They say, give me some more money. Yes, it might be different in the medical field, but in this field, they will take your money.
Shots fired. I'm just not even going to be intimidated today. But no, he's not cheap. But anyway, you get what you pay for.
That's right.
Can I say?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yes, get what you pay for. But I do a little bit of all three. I train with Mike. I train at the Fit House. I love being around other people and being motivated by other people, because, a lot of times you may not be motivated, but the energy and motivation from your gym mates definitely helps to push you when you really don't want to push. And then I do some stuff at the gym as well, because sometimes you just want to be in your zone and get things done and not be distracted. So, but just find what you like and what fits best for you.
That's exactly right.
All right. So once I've decided, okay, I'm going to work out here, this is where I'm going to work out.
Right.
How do I choose what program or what type of exercise I should do? Because I know a lot of times for ladies are like, oh, well, what do I do when I get to the gym? Do I do cardio? Do I lift weights? I mean, there's so much I can be doing, but I have no idea how I do it or what to do.
It depends on the person. Going into this, most people are going to the gym because they want to actually lose weight. But in some cases, some people are going to actually end up gaining more muscle mass. They want to be healthier. There are some people, if you look at the different somatotypes, the mesomorph, the ectomorph, and the endomorph. These are different characteristics of people. And so the mesomorph, most of the time, they can be on a pizza diet, and they'll actually still get in better shape. They'll get in great shape. Or you've heard of the diet where you have the green beans, carrots, and a piece of chicken. they'll do great with just about anything. But most people are going to end up being an endomorph, where they're kind of boxy, they can't process carbs very well, and they're looking to actually lose weight. So they're going to have a certain amount of cardio that's going to go with everything forever. That's just the way they're made up. They're going to be stronger. They're going to have a bigger body type and everything. And so they want to actually have lean muscle. They want to actually be able to fit in their clothes. They want to be able to go down, tie their shoes, and not have to come up for their breath and everything. They want to have a certain quality of life. Then you have, of course, the ectomorph. That's someone that's slim. They burn off calories really quickly, but they're not as strong. So they're looking to actually gain muscle mass. And so in those cases, they're not going to need as much cardio. If they do the same exercise as an endomorph, their muscles can what's called go into catabolism, where they'll eat their muscles. So they want to hold on to their muscles. Okay. But in any case, whether it's a man or a woman, they need to hold on to their lean body mass. As you get older as a man, you're going to lose testosterone. You want to hold on to your muscles, okay? So to answer your question?
Yes, so basically, what kind of guides my exercise program, so to speak, would be based on my body type.
That's exactly right.
Good way to.
Yes,
okay.
That's exactly
so I guess
right.
the first step is determining your body type, and there's all types of, I guess, tools you can use online to kind of help you. And there are some people that have mixed kind of body types. So you may be mesomorphic, mesomorphic on part of your body, and then endomorphic
That's
on the
exactly
other.
right.
So when people look at my arms, they're like, oh gosh, your arms are great. You know, they look so good, but my upper body is a lot leaner than my lower body, so it doesn't take as much for me to build muscle there.
Angela Bassett is what I think some people call you. Is it Angela Bassett?
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. I'm just saying. That's what they call you.
So a lot of it is based on genetics and how our body type. So, you know, just because somebody, you know, does cardio 5 days a week doesn't necessarily mean you need to do cardio.
That's exactly
five times a week, because you don't want to lose the weight and then, you know, you burn muscle, and then that's a whole nother issue.
You look skinny, you look skinny fat. In other words, you're not feeding your muscles, you're overtaxed your muscles. You're exactly right. You want to have a certain quality of health. Is what most people are going for. Even the ladies, they're looking for a certain shape. And a lot of times people say they want to be a certain weight. You really need to say, okay, what is your body type going to actually end up holding on to? Some people want to actually gain bigger hips. They want to work on their legs. And so you want to build muscle. And so you want to actually work on lifting weights. Lifting weights is going to be one of the best things for anybody to actually have a combination of the health, the fitness, and being lean.
And so, ladies, you don't have to look like a man.
No.
Just because you lift weights. And I definitely had that misconception. Like, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to look like a guy. But you need some form of resistance to help tax the muscles and grow them. So, even though I don't like lifting weights, but it's a necessary for the goal I'm trying to achieve.
That's exactly right.
All right. So, next question. So, I've decided where I'm going to work out, what I'm going to do. So how many days a week should I work out? You know, you got some folks that work out 7 days a week. You got some that work out 2 days a week. Like, how do I figure out how many days a week I should work out?
That's going to go back to your goals. But one of the things I tell someone is you want to be consistent. I've heard some people, like with these New Year's resolutions, they said they're going to work out 5 times a week. And they're just going to kill it. Well, if you're going from a couch to 5 times a week, I think that's going to be very, very difficult. I would suggest you do something that's going to actually be something you can continue to do, then build on it. Whether it's going to be 2 days a week, 3 days a week, start there consistently, making sure you actually end up hitting those goals. That way, mentally and physically, you're saying, hey, I'm not a loser. Because if you start off at 5 and you miss something because life happens, most of the time people don't put in there that life is going to happen. And so you only did 4 days. And the next week you only do 3 days. Then the next thing you know, mentally you're telling yourself, I'm a loser. I've started this program and I can't do it. Everybody should be able to do this. And you start mentally, you're going to be your worst critic in a lot of cases. So I would say start off with 2 or 3 days a week, then build on that.
Okay. That makes sense, and that's a good point, because if you feel like, oh gosh, I missed a day, then you start badgering yourself, and then you get into that negative cycle, like, well, I guess I can't work out.
Right.
And I typically only work out 4 days a week. That's my average. Sometimes if I'm extra gung-ho, I work out 5 days a week, and then there's been times I worked out 3 days a week because something came up and I couldn't work out. But my body, I didn't gain like 10 pounds because I missed a day. I mean, life happens, and
Right.
you know, some things you are beyond your control, and not being able to work out shouldn't be like the end of all, and be like, oh, I didn't work out, so
Great point.
I failed. But
Great point.
so great. So basically, just find out what works for you, what's
Yes.
feasible with your schedule, because only you know that, and not try to do something more than what you can do, or
Yes.
compare to other people because they work out 7 days, because your goal is not my goal, their goal is not your goal. So you have to do what's practical and feasible for you.
Good point.
All right, and then so finally I found out how many days I'm going to work out. How long should I work out for? Should I work out 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes? What's a good kind of, I guess, rule of thumb, so to speak?
I would look at how long have you actually been working out or doing anything physical. Some people have a sedentary lifestyle where they're just sitting at a desk. I wouldn't suggest going for an hour or 45-minute workout. In our training, what it's saying is do something that's going to actually be sustainable. So let's take, for example, if you started out with a 10-minute workout, your sedentary lifestyle and everything, you just start off with a multi-joint. In other words, you're using all your muscles, okay? So in other words, let's take, for example, you're doing squats. You might do burpees, or you might do something that's going to envelop all the muscles. You're moving everything. For 10 minutes, that's great.
Okay.
See how you're going to actually recover. Because let's take, for example, you did that for an hour, and the next day you can barely move. That's too much, okay? So you'll have to scale it back, and then you build on that. You build on it because everyone's starting at their level. So a lot of times, even here at the Fit House, there's an offer for a modification, another modification, then the regular workout on, hey, if you just really want to get after it. And in those cases, whether you're doing a jumping jack or side jack, or let's say, for example, if you have knee issues and you have to take the bounce out of some things, or you have to limit your range of motion, you have to make those adjustments to get in better shape, to get the weight off, to use it, because you don't want to overtax the joints. You want to actually move forward. You don't want to hurt yourself, and then you have a setback.
Right.
And so even if you start off with the 10 minutes, then you go to 20 minutes, then you go to 30 minutes, then you go to 45 minutes. Some people are jumping on the elliptical, they're jumping on some of these machines, and they're setting it for an hour or an hour and a half, and they're suffering. And then they go to the next day, and for those people that have to work, you still got to bring home the bacon, biologically fried up in a pan. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's an old commercial. I'm sorry. But long story short, you still
Don't
have
age yourself.
you still
Don't age yourself. You date yourself.
you still have to function the next day.
Because Michael fooling around with him, he'll have your glutes hurting and you feel like you can't sit down. Okay, anyway, yes, you still have to be. You have to be
That is shade. You need to edit that out. It's terrible.
No, I've got to edit it out. It's real, y'all. One day I couldn't even move my arm. I was like, oh, my biceps are dying.
They were 5-pound weights. I mean, come on. I mean,
I could barely drive. I was like, oh,
you
God.
could stop
my
trying to flex
biceps.
your arm.
Anyway. You have to shoot fire,
Oh,
shots fired when you can.
Oh goodness! I hear you, Angela Bassett. Go ahead.
So basically you have to again think about where you're starting out. Like Michael said, if you've been sitting on the couch for 20 years, don't get on the elliptical for an hour.
That's exactly right.
And then you have to have some sense of common sense,
At least common of all senses. Because think about this now. A lot of people are seeing what their friends are doing. They're seeing what's on Instagram. They're seeing what's on Google. They're listening to a famous super trainer. They're saying, you can do this, you can do this. But on one of these commercials for Geico, it says, you can be a winner. And the guy's nose starts growing. And long story short, yes, you can be a winner, but start off small. Start off small, then go up, then build on that. Don't go in there and just have your confidence. Your body's talking to you. You start going on these crazy diets where you're not going to eat this, and you're suffering. And then what happens is eventually you quit, and then you say, okay, you're going to jump back on the horse. Then you quit again. Start off with something that's obtainable. Have some people that are going to encourage you, and you build on that. It took you a long time to get to 40 pounds or 100 pounds overweight and everything. It's going to take some time to get off of that. I met a guy at church today. He was telling me he was over 300 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I said, man, I couldn't believe it. He talked about it. He said what he did is he did not give up. He said he didn't do everything right. He didn't give up. He still eats some sweets and everything along those lines today, but he didn't give up. And he looked so, I was like, man, I didn't even know. He said, yes. He said it was a long fitness journey, but in 3 to 5 years, he's not 300 pounds. I think he's like maybe 190, 200, some of those lines.
That's a lot
But
of weight.
it is. That's a lot of weight, and that's a lot of consistency. He just said he did not give up, and I just admired his grit. I told him, I'm not your trainer or anything along those lines, but much respect. You did not give up, and that's what a lot of people are lacking. They're thinking they're going to get something in 30 days, 90 days, or they'll see something on Instagram or some social media site, and they're going to end up saying, you know what, I'm going to buy this package, and it's going to make me just like that. And then when it doesn't happen, or life happens, or whatever comes up, they're restarting. You want to get a victory. Get those victories, and you build on those victories. You build on those victories. You keep on going, and you need to have a log of, hey, this is where I started. Look at where I've gone. I might not be where I am, where I want to be, but look, I'm making progress moving forward.
So taking pictures is crucial
Yes.
to help remind yourself,
Yes.
because it's hard sometimes to be objective with self. So basically, you just have to start out where you are and
Yes.
keep that in mind, and not, again, don't compare, because comparison is going to be your greatest defeat if you're comparing yourself to everybody else. And you know what Michael preaches is about lifestyle, because who is actually going to want to be working out 7 days a week all the time? You know, you go on vacation, you thinking about, oh, I got to work out 7 days a week, and then you can't enjoy life, and then exercise becomes just like anything else. It becomes a burden, and then you lose enjoyment or even passion for some people for it, and then you just stop, and then, you know, you kind of like, oh, well, I hate it now, and then you won't pick it back up. But as God's people, we're supposed to keep up our bodies and be healthy and do the things that we need to do to live the lifestyle and have a quality of life that he desires for us. But he doesn't want us to be a stressor. So, you know, you have to do what you can do and what you're capable of doing, and not what everybody else is doing around you.
Just to mention this, and this is amazing, we're having this interview now, and feel free to do whatever you want to. I know this is kind of live and everything, but when Kobe Bryant and his daughter passed, and Kobe Bryant, for those that love him, loved him, liked him, or did not like him and everything, one of the things that I saw was he was a great competitor. He was. And I'm just not just this monster Lakers fan. I like basketball, I like football, I like statistics and everything. But he had a drive. He had a grit. He had a certain tenacity that he wanted to actually win. Another thing that I saw that he wanted to end up doing was instilling that into his daughter. To take this full circle, you want to live your life now, because life is a promise. So if you're getting on some plan of 3 years, 5 years, or something along those lines, make sure that you're living in the now. Don't think that you're going to start living in the 3 or the 5 years. You want to live now. So in other words, when you do the workout, like Jasmine was saying, you want to have a certain lifestyle. So if you're going to exercise for 30 minutes, great. Enjoy that 30 minutes. Get that 30 minutes, but then also make sure that you're taking care of a lifestyle, that you're actually living. And you don't want to end up saying, well, once I lose my 10 pounds, I'll be blah, 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 or I'll be happy. Once I lose my 20 pounds, I'll be happy. Now, I hear that from a lot of people. And hearing about what happened with Kobe Bryant and everything, we're not promised tomorrow. You know, I'm serious, and you can help me on this. It was a guy in the Bible, and he had a great harvest, and he had these silos. And he said, you know what, I'm going to tear down my barns, and I'm gonna build some bigger barns and everything. And then he said, thou fool, you know, your life is gonna end up being brought, you know, your life is gonna end up ending today. And so you want to live the best possible life today. So if you're gonna work out today, make it the best. Go hug your wife, hug your kids, but live life today. Don't do it's gonna be great after 20 pounds. It's gonna be great when I get this, you know.
You may not reach 20 pounds.
Thank you. Live it now. Live it now.
And we were doing, and then we would get off the soapbox. We were reading Ecclesiastes. I think it was early this month or last month as part of our church-wide devotional reading. And a lot of, you know, what Solomon was talking about, life being, you know, things being meaningless. I was like, oh gosh, well, what do we get up every day for? And, you know, but what I took from it was, and he said, you know, you have to be happy, drink, and be merry and eat. So in other words, enjoy life.
Yes.
Because, you know, people that, I'm not a Kobe fan. I've never been a Lakers fan, but I have some close family members that love the Black Mamba. And, you know, it just goes to show that you never know, you know, you never know when you wake up one morning and the next you may not. So you have to I believe that God wants us to enjoy life and live it to the fullest and
Yes.
not be down and out and depressed and worried and stressed and anxious. And that even includes about losing 10 pounds or 20 pounds.
Right.
You know, lose it when you can lose it. Stick to it. Be persistent.
Yes.
And just enjoy the process. All right. Well, I think we're off our soapbox.
Yes.
So.
and to kind of go back full circle and everything along those
Okay.
lines. You can lose the weight. The weight's out. You know, you gain the weight. You can lose the weight. You can live a higher lifestyle. Most people don't know how well they can actually live. That the amount of health, you know, being as healthy as they can. You don't have to be sick. We can talk about this a little later on. It's kind of going into a deep, you know, going into the nutrition side and everything. But it's amazing how well you can live when you feed your body, fuel your body right. You do what's needed. You find out the little nuances that you need to do to actually end up recovering after the workout, and you make those strides, and you'll feel great. It's a totally obtainable. And so I consider it like this. I'm just another beggar telling another beggar where some bread is. And I'm just saying in when I'm sharing people with the gospel, when I'm sharing fitness and everything, it's a different way of living. You don't have to be snotty. You don't have to get a shot all the time. Nothing against the medical community. They do a great job. Seriously, they do. And they're educated and they're there to help us and everything. But a lot of us are misguided by what we're eating, by what we think we have to do in the gym. You can live a higher lifestyle.
You can, and not be guided by what you see on social media, because a lot of that is just illusion, and people only show you what they want you to see. And you have to also remember, you don't ever say, I want to be like this girl, because you don't know what that girl had to do to get there.
That's true.
And
That's
so
true.
that's why you have to be careful about comparing or wanting something that somebody else has, because that girl may be getting up at 3 a.m. Every day, and you're like, I
Do
can't
it
get
too
up
late,
at
yeah.
3 a.m. Or she might, be eating, say, hey, I'm cutting out all sweets, and that's not practical for you. You may say, well, I want to enjoy life, and if I go out of town, I want to have a sweet. And that girl may say, oh, well, I'm not going to eat any sweets, regardless if I'm in the Bahamas or if I'm in Jackson, Mississippi. So you just have to be careful about who you're trying to emulate, should we say.
True.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. And with that, I will be signing off in strength and dignity. Jasmine, you guys have a great